We never talked about that either. The 1 versus 2.
You said something like there's a strategy that can be implemented and the 5-0s will
I think
beat
a
me.
4-5 could 2 4-5s could beat us if they played it correctly.
That's stupid.
What do you mean 2 4-5s play you two in doubles?
No. He's saying it like 2-on-1 because I'm saying like I beat 2 5-0s on the reg, which I do, and you're saying that he can strategize with 2 4-5 guys to beat himself
4-5's
or me.
probably not
The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Low 5-0. So here's the thing, like when I was training in Wisconsin with Kyle Slinko and Ariel Butler, Ariel is now playing pro, and doing quite well. They finally figured out, I was beating them at the beginning, they finally figured out just hit cross-court dinks and not hit anything hard.
Yeah, but the whole objective is to not let them hit any dinks.
Well, yeah,
That's the whole
for sure.
objective.
But if they drop
the ball and it's even slightly high, then they're never getting in.
Right, yeah.
Don't you think you've improved at the ball bouncing and then attacking off the bounce and still maintaining control of the point? Yes, if you dink the ball and you relinquish control, then certainly the 2 5-0s will manipulate the ball. But you're never doing that. You're just
you're going.
And they're always like, "Fuck, the ball's coming fast. Fuck, it's coming fast." It's disorienting.
What they did was cross-court drops, cross-court everything. Basically, every ball was like low cross-court, and I couldn't. And then the court would be so open.
That says more about you.
That's fair.
You're 5'7", $133. Slightly bigger than
chill. I'm 5'8", and
145.
140. Come on, bro. Chill.
And rather lively, might I add.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But no, I don't see anything below 5'2", 2'5'2s having a chance.
They just need some coaching. They need some coaching.
Not sure.
I still want to make this happen. I want to coach 2 5-0s against you in a game of 2 versus 1.
Okay. Zane, how do you think I would do against him? Let me just insert myself.
You have to, or else
I don't know what the challenge is, but you would lose, Thomas. I don't know what the challenge is. I don't know
what about the time I beat you in
shots,
singles?
okay.
I think
I don't remember. I don't recall. I just
wait, that actually happened?
Yeah.
But okay,
it's on video.
There was something not right about that.
No, it was Will filming? Was it Will and it was
yeah, Pickleball Will, I think, was filming.
Yeah, who's the other person there, though?
Okay. So you played normal singles? This
I
was a half court?
Zero idea what he's talking about.
Okay.
Also, I took Jay DeVilliers to 11-9. 11-8.
Yeah, but that's Jay. You're talking about Jay. You're not talking about Zane. Or Travis. Come on.
My man, hey, moving pretty good these days.
Yeah, all right, cool. Good segment where I got to talk about myself.
I'm still curious about, did this actually happen? And I want to know if the rules were the same.
I'm really curious as well.
It's on film. In what year?
It was we played 2 games, and the first game was close, and then you were like, all right. And then
it was in that,
Wait, so you won the first game close?
At the Collective.
Full court.
No,
this is not half court.
It was 2 close games, yeah.
No, I'm skinnies.
I'm like a pretty good athlete. I'm fast.
You're a good athlete. I remember you were earning.
I think I will surprise people more in singles, and then they go, "Oh wait, hold on." Same thing Jay did. He was starting to get pissed because it was way too close. And this was in my dad's backyard, and all of a sudden Jay's playing his life depends on it because he doesn't want me to be on this podcast saying I won.
Yes.
Right?
So what was your score?
So as soon as they turn it on, it's I lose pretty quickly.
What was the score?
It was close. It was 11-7, and then it was.
You won 11-7.
Right? No, he beat me.
But you said you won.
Yeah, well, that's because it's funny to say that. Cut this part, because I think
don't cut this. Let's let Thomas work through this thought. I'm really curious.
I'm so confused. I
Dude,
really
it's fucking Santa again. Look at Santa. That guy's pissing me off. It's November. It's the beginning of November.
He's not too early.
He's more of a Saint Nick than a Santa. With that coat.
I don't know, but he's pissing me off.
He's like an Indiana Jones Santa.
I like that.
But no, the whole thing was if I just say it on this podcast enough times, eventually it just kind of reverberates and people believe it.
Yeah.
And I think we were right there until we
got
a little too in detail here.
I'll put it on my pod too.
Yeah.
Thomas beat Zane.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about Graham actually did beat me in skinnies one time.
Yeah.
It's happened. I'm not ashamed to admit it. But his is actually real.
All right, well, getting to some non-total bullshit.
That's
what
not
are you thinking about for the Smash? What do you guys any thoughts on what you're gonna do with the squad? Anything you're gonna share or what?
That's a deep question. No, I think that we just have to invest some more resources, time, energy into making it a better squad. I think that we have a challenge with me as a player. I don't think that's the easiest circumstance. I think that people can take offense to the things that I say. My position on the team can be challenging.
How many other owners do you have? What's the ownership group?
We have several other owners, but we now have a majority owner, Trevor Burgess from St. Pete, who just came in recently. And,
nice, congrats.
Thank you. And he's definitely what we needed. We needed kind of an influx of cash and someone who wanted to be invested on the business side and actually build the brand and change the branding up a little bit. And then I think we should get a coach, at least in some events, to act as a buffer, at least between me. I'm not, again, not the best at communication at times. So yeah, we have some work to do, but again, I think it all ends in the same pot at some point, and we'll get into that pot eventually, by default or by winning. I don't know.
Yeah, so you've had to have had a good amount of pressure to get rid of your portion of the Florida Smash over the years, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's been a pretty
by
hot
one asshole
topic.
in particular.
Who's that?
Richie Toison.
He thinks you should divest or you should stop playing.
Well, he basically, I think he was leveraging me, but he was just trying to find an angle, which, Richie, I got no problem with you, but he was trying to find an angle for the betterment of his team. Outside of line calls, which we can elaborate on those ones, but he owned two teams at the time. He was saying it was unfair if I drafted myself in a particular situation, so he was going to say he was going to draft me early, make me give myself back and leverage the squad, and then if I wasn't willing to, get rid of my own shares, then that's what he was going to do. And that turned into a whole ordeal, probably end of 2022, that was. And, we came to an agreement where I was able to retain my shares, but I don't disagree with him. It is a conflict of interest. At some point, maybe it will need to be addressed if gambling gets involved, but for the moment, just shut the fuck up.
We were just talking about this. The amount of conflicts of interest
Correct.
across
exactly. I'm not the only one.
pickleball is insane.
Not to mention that year he had made a trade. Do you remember the trade that first season?
Yeah.
Right. It was buddy.
What was that? Remind me.
It was, I don't remember exactly
he traded a
for.
Kawamoto. He traded one of the Kawamotos to the
For Brasha.
For Brasha from the Jackrabbits.
The Jackrabbits to make one team really strong, the other team basically just fall off the map because he owned
the
both.
funny thing was that he ended up screwing BLQK with the trade because we lost to the Ranchers one time, who he had traded. I think it was just a bad trade. I don't think he was. Yeah, I mean, I've known Richie. I think Richie's a buddy of mine, but
I
think he's.
Go ahead. Sorry. Elaborate.
No, you go ahead.
No, I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he's looking for every angle. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, aren't you within the rules of or whatever would be the rules? I don't
not
think
at the
that
point to fuck someone over. I mean,
do you think that was to the point of just personally fucking you over, or is that really, or do you think that was a competitive move? Because I think those are two different things. If it's personally fucking you over,
it's a competitive move where the byproduct is
personally fucking me over. Right? Yeah, exactly. Ultimately, and
but you could have. I'm sure Trevor Burgess would have taken whatever shares that you had for a good portion of money.
Well, this was 2022. This was early days. I'm saying I had been invested for less than 6 months at that point. It's like, hey, just let this play out. And the reality is there was nothing in my original agreement that I couldn't own the team and play on the team, which is why I bought the team to begin with. So it's like, to me, it was bad play, bad form. There's no reason to stick your nose in at that point. Just let the league ride, let people play, have a good time, and then eventually, sure, fucking make that play. But early on, go away.
Richie's actually our next podcast guest.
He's actually going to come on.
Can you ask him about the line calls where he doesn't see them magically? The solar eclipse somehow comes into his eyes and he cannot see. Oh, fucking balls.
I do love how you would say the exact same thing if Richie was sitting right here.
100%.
I do appreciate
100%.
that. There's not a second of hesitation. I'm like, oh, Richie's next. You're like, all right, perfect. Let's talk
I
about
enjoy being disliked, so I'm okay with that. I don't mind it.
Okay, so Proton pulled a fast one on me. They invited us and a bunch of other creators out to their headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona. I played with the Proton that day. That was maybe 2 months ago, and I have not stopped playing with it since. So I've obviously tried a ton of paddles. The Proton, to me, it's just different. They say a lot about the durability, the fact that Andre Deescu was using it for like 3 months in a row, which is unheard of, especially for pros who are changing their paddles like every day. But you just don't have to replace these things. The longevity, the grit, the structure of the paddle, it just holds up. They have crazy pop, insane control. So Proton seems to be one of those brands that came out of nowhere in the past year, and now they're one of the most popular paddles, selling out constantly. I just mentioned that Andre Daescu plays with them, but Caitlin Christian, Donald Young, Travis Rettenmeyer, CJ Klinger, the list goes on. All these pros are dominating the courts with paddles that leverage carbon fiber technology from baseball bats for exceptional sound and spin. Following the quick sellout of their Series 1, Proton's Series 2 paddles are now on the scene, claiming to be the softest on the market, providing top-notch control and great feel, winning a lot of medals at PPA events at the 3.0 and 4.0 level. Find Proton Paddles exclusively through Pickleball Central. Use our code, THEDINK, to save $25 on your Proton Paddle from pickleballcentral.com. That's all caps, THEDINK, for $25 off.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun